The cold steel of a knife on my neck was the first thing I remembered. The ensuing scream must have been very loud. It got drowned by the spookiest laughter I had heard in my life. Nobody is here. Nobody is here to save you. My still sleepy eyes tried to seek out the voice, but all that met me was darkness. Don't worry. The knife on your neck? It's not real. None of this is real. I tried to sit up, but an invisible hand seemed to push me down and pin me to the floor. What is going on? Where the hell am I? There was no answer, but someone whispered, and it floated across the room. At that very moment, a light came on, and I could finally see where I was. It was a basement. Not just any basement, but the one in the building where I had been shooting for my new film. Shooting had wrapped up the previous day, but I wanted to hang around the place just a little bit longer. Can you just show yourself? Who are you? I wish I could, Robert, but even if I wanted to, I cannot. I am very much here, but invisible to people like you. I was extremely puzzled, so I asked what the voice meant by that statement, especially the phrase people like me. Was it some kind of a grudge against celebrities and famous people in general? But the reply caught me completely off guard. I cannot be seen by people of that world, people who are alive. Out of reflex, I tried to stand up. This time there were no invisible hands pinning me to the floor. A ghost then, I thought to myself. Or some kind of a haunted spirit. Even though I was unsettled by this sequence of events, my curiosity was stronger than my fear. Are you really in this room right now? How do I know you are not just trying to mess with my head? That this is not all a nightmare? A shadow appeared on the ceiling, all of a sudden. Follow that shadow, Robert. When it moves, it means that I am moving too. I was still not convinced that this was all real, but for the moment, I couldn't think of anything else to do. I didn't see a way out of the room, so I simply decided to play along. What is your story then? Who are you? The light kept on flickering, and the shadow never stood still. I don't have a name, Robert. When I was alive, I shared my name with one of the characters you have played in your movies. The superhero? No. The voice seemed a bit annoyed. The other one, the one where you are the detective. A couple of questions, if you don't mind me asking? Please, ask away. Being a spirit is rather boring. I rarely get to make conversation. How and when did you die? It's been years, almost half a decade by now. As to how I died, I was shot. Even though I didn't speak, the voice must have seen the look of shock on my face. Can you do one thing, Robert? Close your eyes. I will take you through the day I lost my life. Almost in a trance, I did as the voice instructed, and a blast of cold air seemed to almost knock me off my feet. The scene in front of my eyes was extremely blurred. It was some sort of highway, and a truck was speeding through the empty stretch of road. There were two people inside, though their features were not distinguishable. They were clearly having a very heated conversation, but the exact words were not audible. Then, like a camera cutting to a different scene, I saw the truck again. But this time it was parked on a side street, and in the distance, I could see a bank building. My eyes were transfixed, and my heartbeat rather sped up as I waited for something to happen. Nothing for 2 minutes, and then something flew through the air and shattered the left-sided glass of the truck. It must have been a bullet, possibly multiple bullets. Then, without warning, the truck started moving, and for the next couple of minutes, it raced across the busy traffic while a police car gave chase. There must have been gunfire, but I did not have any audio to guide me. All I did was keep my eyes peeled on the truck. Eventually the truck seemed to stop, and it was then that I saw it was littered with bullet marks. A police officer stepped out of the car and walked over to the truck. Then he said the only bit of audio I could hear in this entire short film, or whatever this was. He's dead. Yes, I checked. The cold blast of air again before I opened my eyes. So that is my story, or rather, the story of my death. My head was reeling with more questions. What happened to your partner? The other guy in the truck? Is that who you haunt? Is he the reason you became a ghost? You are a very curious person, Robert. I will give you that. I told the voice, I just wanted to know the truth. I guess you have it. Can I leave now? Thank you for a very interesting conversation. Suddenly, the shadow stopped moving, and there was the spooky laughter again. Only if I let you go, Robert. Only if I let you go. I tried to sit up, but an invisible hand seemed to push me down and pin me to the floor. The cold steel of a knife on my neck was the last thing I remembered.